Welcome back to another episode of Requesting Good Company. Uh, John and I are back again, week two of the Eagles. I just need everybody to know that this is fresh. This happened 10 minutes ago, and we're recording this loss to the Atlanta Falcons. John, I know this is an emotional time for the both of us. What is your initial thoughts of the game and our gameplay?
I mean, it's an atrocious loss. Let's just call it what it is. I felt like the game was very much in hand after Chauncey had made up for his abysmal coverage on the Darnell Mooney touchdown. He made a big play on 4th and 1, got the Eagles offense the ball back. And, for anybody that watched the game, it was, it looked like things were good. And then we got to 3rd down and Saquon Barkley dropped the football on 3rd down. Whether you run the ball there to keep the clock going, maybe gain, what was it, 3rd and 4? Was it 3rd and 4? 3rd and 3? You run it there, get 2 yards and push it, or, he should have caught the ball. If he catches the ball, then we win the game.
I think the confusion for me was we declined a penalty, obviously, to run the clock. Then all of a sudden, we're in the goal line. It's 3rd and 3. We have arguably the best running back in the league currently, and arguably the best running quarterback in the league right now. And we didn't run the ball. We decided to get fancy. And on the other side of it, if he would have caught it, I would have been the complete opposite, saying this is a great play. But I also believe just run the ball. I said this last game. Why are we going to empty spread when we've been running all night? Run the ball.
Right.
Best line in the league. Run the ball.
I get it. And then we see what happens. So Eagles have got a field goal that puts them up 21-15. Kickoff, and then Atlanta just does exactly what they want to do. Kirk Cousins 2-minute drill. Yeah, Kirk Cousins gets shit on, dude. He's a good quarterback. He is a serviceable quarterback in this league.
I mean, he's an NFL quarterback that got zero pressure on him all game. So it's easy to sit back there and throw passes.
Yep. They did exactly what I knew that was capable of happening as soon as they got on the field. They're extremely young, for one. The pass rush is non-existent the entire game. I'm texting you in the second quarter saying we need to trade back for Hassan Reddick because we can't get any rush. Can't get any. And then when it comes to a situation where they're in enough tempo and they need a score to win, they folded. Fangio is a guy where this league has probably passed him by at this point.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. Like, he couldn't cut it in Miami. They were happy to get rid of him. The Eagles bring him in, and, we have a bunch of young kids. We have, our best players are young on that side of the ball. So,
I would have to say this about our defense. I feel like we have high eyes on Slay, and I do not. Slay has been producing.
No,
this
will be his last
obvious out route.
This will be his last year here. I truly think that. But why not get Cooper DeJean incorporated right away? Like, what are we doing with that? Quinion's getting all kinds of playing time.
Avonte Maddox did play decently today comparable to how
Avonte's a guy. I remember a game the year we went to the Super Bowl. We played at Dallas on Christmas Eve, and Gardner Minshew had to start. And Avonte Maddox got like a interception and a forced fumble on Dak like really early in that game. Just really set a tone for our defense. I think he just needs a couple of games to get accustomed, and he'll play good as long as he can stay healthy. He ended up getting hurt in that game. He was hurt a lot last year, but you can have packages out there with Cooper in the game.
We also are relying heavily on our secondary to be because we're not getting any pass rush. So our
No.
secondary has to be top tier. And when
Uh,
it shows immediately. People are wide open 20 yards down the field.
I think if you could show that rush earlier in the game, that there was one drive where it was like where Milton got the sack. If you could get consistent pressure like that, I think that's where our defense is going to be able to go and make plays. Pick sixes, or maybe not pick sixes, but like interceptions.
We
These guys are
had
dogs,
a
man.
pick.
Like Jalen Carter, Jalen Carter is getting doubled every single play.
Our interior defense is decent. They're just getting doubled consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But our edges are absolute garbage.
Jordan Davis is a bust at this point. No, let's call it what it is.
I don't, he's he's big in there. I just think that if our edge rush isn't getting to the quarterback, that it's easy for guards to block down.
Josh Huff is. It almost seems like he's unplayable at this point because he's barely playing. Aren't we paying this guy like $10 million a year? I
Bro.
mean, we're paying him with a good amount of money that could have went to Hassan Reddick. And I think Howie's among the best GMs in all football, so I'm definitely not pushing up against him for that entire situation. But through 2 games, we're not generating enough pressure up front. It's just not happening.
It disgusts me a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no
I mean, these are losses that we have grown very accustomed to in the last uh, 10 months, last 9-10 months. It's almost like picking up where we left off. In Tampa Bay, and we go there in 2 weeks, bro.
I'm worried about next week.
Yeah, I'm worried about Sunday too. I told you at halftime. I said, or I told somebody at halftime. I was like, we come out and play like this on Sunday, we're gonna get smacked.
It just
That
felt
place,
aggressive.
that place will be freaking rocking, dude.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't want to play.
It's gonna be a tough environment.
We need that win.
It might be a must win.
Disgusted. I had a
I
couple.
mean, yeah. I mean, you play the two, through 2 weeks, the two best teams in the NFC back to back. I mean, they've looked as good as anybody, both teams, Tampa and New Orleans.
Fix the defense in 2 plays.
Players or plays?
Players.
Fix the defense in 2 players. I mean, you've lost all your leverage with the Hassan Reddick stuff. So, I mean, yeah, you could trade for him back, but it's going to hurt your pockets a little bit, which Howie would figure that crap out anyway. But, I mean, Hassan Reddick is definitely missed through 2 games of this season. I mean, reinforcements. James Bradbury is the only guy that we have out long term. I think we know that that's probably not the answer to fixing this. I mean, you look around the league, Zach Wilson, or not the edge rusher in Cincinnati, Sam Hubbard, maybe.
You said Zach Wilson. I was like, what happened to Jalen? I was like,
uh, yeah, I forget what that guy's name is for Cincinnati, but yeah, I mean, safety play's been okay. I don't hate the corner play until that last drive. Obviously,
I don't
I
Slade make
thought
any plays.
do what?
I don't think Slade's making any plays. I watched his
No,
ability, his tackling ability. He's tackling people with his back. He's not wrapping up. I think Slade is done, bro. I think it's a waste of
yeah.
time.
I mean, it probably is. If you get off to a rougher start this season, that's if we're sitting at 500 at the deadline, I look at trading that guy. I mean, I hope we're not at that point, but let's see. We got a bye week after the Tampa game.
I had in my
So
mind that we were going to be 4-0 going into the bye week. You couldn't tell me. I would bet paychecks on it previous to this game, especially after the first game. Watching Saquon run the ball, I just don't understand. I get okay, AJ being out, that's a good excuse, but no,
we're gonna be without him Sunday.
except for weeks. But the report before the game was AJ will. They were. It was a game time decision, and they were thinking about even playing him.
Hopefully, Higgin, you're right. I mean, obviously, that's a huge difference maker. One of the best playmakers in all the NFL. Um,
I'm not really worried about the offense for real. I think our offensive line
no, but at
is
the same
all right.
time, you got to score points because it's very clear. If we want to win a lot of football games this season, we're going to have to outscore people.
The
Like
the statistic was if the Eagles score more than 30, it's a guaranteed win. That disgusted me when I read that. I was like,
should and we should have got there tonight. Should have got there.
I don't. I get like time management and all that, but if we're rolling, roll. Stop doing.
It's all analytics, and in the first half, bro, you kicked that field goal on 4th and 4 that we didn't convert. We won.
4 is insane to me not to kick the field goal.
Jake Elliott, let's call it what it is. I
He is the
mean,
captain on it.
most people won't know this, but Jake Elliott is one of the best kickers in the history of this league to this point.
For sure. David Akers
He's been great. He's been great. Yeah, and he's got a bigger leg than Akers did.
The
So
thing is, with Jake Elliott being a captain, let him kick. It gets me sometimes. It gets me. Tonight was another
I
like
I hate seeing that crowd look like that after a game like that, dude. Because they coming for the jugular every single home game. They go all out, and let them go home like that, terrible.
first home game of the season. Saquon's
Yep.
homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. But
And he's
the problem for me is knowing that it was literally a fingertip away.
mm-hmm,
He catches that ball, it's over. We run that ball, it's over.
mm-hmm.
It was a give or take.
I mean, you look around the NFC, things aren't going. No one would have expected New Orleans to roll Dallas like that yesterday. No one expected Tampa to go in and beat Detroit. The Rams are beat to death. Um, you know,
The Vikings.
so the Vikings are a surprise at 2-0. The Bears are good defensively, but their offense is nowhere close yet.
49ers are beat up. Debo's out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, if you watch that game in detail last night, the Houston-Chicago game, and then watch our game tonight, the disparity between Chicago's offensive line and Philadelphia's offensive line are like it. Chicago should be embarrassed and employ all 5 of those dudes on the line at the same time. It's that bad. Getting that man killed out there.
They called him the Patrick Mahomes of the league. Soon to be Patrick Mahomes. They didn't give him nothing, but take that for him. And Keenan Allen was out. So that doesn't.
Yeah.
But as for our Eagles, man, what do you foresee in the future leading up to the bye week? Our next 2 games, do you see 2 wins or 2 questionable wins or 2 losses?
I just, knowing some of the players on this football team, assuming that you have AJ Brown back, if not Sunday, for the Tampa game, which remember AJ didn't play in the playoff game back in January, so you'd have him back for that game. You would hope. They'll be 3-1 or 2-2. No, that's my gut feeling. I think they win one of these next 2 games for sure. I can't foresee them going 0-2. They're too good. They're too talented. You just gotta. I don't
Tighten
know,
up.
man.
That's all you gotta do is tighten up. At the end of
Yeah,
the day,
yeah,
we
it's
don't
right
have
there.
complaints like we should.
Hmm.
And we still gotta worry about playing Dallas twice. Gotta worry about inevitably losing to one of the Washington or the Giants teams this year, like we always do on some stupid stuff.
Yeah,
But
you're right, man.
I
Yeah.
got money that we win the division. So I need this. I got a sports bet that we win this division. And if it don't happen, I don't know how I'm gonna react.
uh, I mean, it's a huge bounce back, man. I no repeat winner of the division since '04. I mean, we know that. Is it a wash if that? Are you? Is the bet with a Dallas fan?
No, this is real bets. This is fan bet.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I'm locked in. Like
Okay. All right. Um,
I got a side bet with a couple of Dallas people though every year.
the thing is if we're healthy, the offense for the most part looked okay. We just have to execute touchdowns. We can't settle for field goals. I mean, kick them when they make sense, but this offense is too good to be grounded and score 21 points and expect that that's good enough to win. If you get to that 30 mark, you're going to be damn tough to beat just about every single week. I mean,
Are you
it's
ner-
not hard.
are
Am
you
I nervous?
are you nervous any bit about Jalen's last interception? The interception that lost the game. Well, I wouldn't say that lost us the game, but sealed the game. I
What
think last episode we talked about like Jalen, sometimes you got to eat those. You obviously can't eat that, but but if I replay that play, I can almost guarantee you he could have ran for 15 yards. And Jake Elliott could. We had another timeout too,
Mm-hmm.
and Jake Elliott could have probably hit a 60
Mm-hmm.
and caught it today.
Yeah. I mean, the instant analysis after the game, I hopped on Twitter and they said the Covey was open underneath. Well, shout out to him. He played pretty good tonight.
I, I gotta say I am upset that Jaha or whatever his name Dotson was not as playable as like we've had 2 weeks for him to get right.
Right.
Understand? And Brett Covey, I mean, he is quick, but he is not breaking any tackles. He's not getting up.
No.
He is catching the ball and then going down consistently.
Well, I wish he would have. I wish Jalen would have threw it to him on
Yeah,
that
for sure.
play.
So was Dotson even on the field?
Do what?
Was Dotson even on the field? We spent money
Yeah.
from Washington.
Yeah. He. I think he might have caught one ball.
That's egregious, bro. It is. We spent money
I
on him.
mean,
He's supposed to be our number 3. Where's Julio?
you just had so much though, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, between Saquon and Devonta, it's not like that position matters that much in our offense.
It did tonight because AJ wasn't playing. We needed that number
Yeah,
2 here because it's
yeah.
obvious. That obvious play, last play, was obviously going to Devontae. You see him coming out of
Mm-hmm.
the sideline talking to Devontae. He's obviously pointing to Devontae. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm a corner or a safety, I know I'm guarding Devontae.
And they know that. Like, they should know that. I mean, he threw it on the side with two of the best secondary players in the league. You can't make that throw, James.
I just, some decisions we make just makes me literally sick to my stomach. That was a sickening for every fan around the world. We watched that,
Yeah.
and I can't blame solely one person because it's not a one person sport.
No.
But, oh, Jalen messed this up. Jalen played good,
Yeah.
but it's last minute things like that ruin people. I had the defense in one of my fantasies going against Drake London in the other fantasy. At one point, I was up at like towards the end of the game when we're running the clock out. I'm up like 0.02% or something like that, trying to win. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is money. This is going to be the best fantasy win of my life. And here we go.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, I lost one very similar to that tonight. Was up against Smitty and Saquon, and he ended up beating me by probably less than a point. And I'm a street clothes Christian McCaffrey merchant because I had the first pick. So yeah,
yeah.
I will say this: anybody that didn't think that Saquon would be able to have a Christian McCaffrey like impact on our offense is a moron.
Yikes.
That I mean, the dude is the absolute truth.
I lost point leader in one of my leagues and it pays out like $10 every week
Wow.
by 1 point. And I know that my league commissioner is going to talk so much junk because we lost the game by 1 point and I lost point leader. But I guess, I mean, there's nothing really left to say about this game.
Well, you started to say something earlier. Um, so I'll ask you: are you nervous based on what you've seen tonight? What could happen in the next 2 weeks?
And this is where becoming an Eagles fan is just like it's a uh, it's a roller coaster. Because
Yeah,
at this current moment, I'm like, yeah, we could get killed by the Saints. We could get killed by Tampa Bay. But I know that it's not going to happen. I have faith in these guys. Um, our offensive line, best in the league. Top duo of wide receivers if AJ comes back. A quarterback that has the running ability. One of the best running backs in the league. Our offense, I'm not afraid of at all. Our defense, our linebackers, eh, our pass rush, terrible. One corner, decent. The other corner, falling off. Both safeties are straight. It's that defense is what makes me nervous. If we're not scoring 30 plus, we're guaranteed to lose.
yeah. I kind of feel that way too. The life of being an Eagles fan, I think, can be easily defined by we play more games like we just did tonight than we blow people out.
Yeah.
And of course, what I will say is we win most of them. We do win most of them. Tonight, we did not. Obviously, in December and January last year, we did not. So we're in a tough state of mind right now. We know we have a good football team. To lose a game like that is infuriating, and it'll put a pit in my stomach until we kick off the ball on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. 7 hours of commercial free football, 7 days of heartache for an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's as simple as that. I just,
Yep.
I hope that we get it together. I have faith in our offense, and I'm working on our defense daily.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
Thank you, John.
Yep.
This is another episode of Requesting Good Company. We'll be back at it like, you know what, next week.
Yes, sir.